Hey guys, what's up? This is Orfleck from Sir Gaming, and boy do I have a very special episode for today. Now if you notice down here in the lower right hand corner of my screen, I've got a little notification because the new update gave me an awesome time today. So, let me just show you something real fast. If we go down in our achievements, right here at the very bottom of the achievements, get 12 victories in a single challenge. That's what I did. 12 in a row. I went 12-0 in my very first victory challenge. So I'm going to show you some replays today from this challenge, and then at the end we'll open up this chest. We'll see what's inside. Alright, my first replay, I'm facing just 7 some young guy from DMV's finest. Now, if DMV means Department of Motor Vehicles, it isn't hard to be the finest there. So this guy's using a minor deck, and I have to say that this was one of the more challenging battles that I did, because it was really hard to keep that minor countered. He also did a really good job at stopping my pushes. So while this plays out in the background, I want to talk to you a little bit about this update. Now, they said in the past that they want to revamp the tournament stuff. Now, the tournaments still exist. You can still do tournaments, but now they're a little bit less public. So when you make one, you can share it with your clanmates, or you can share the tag and other people can join, but it isn't for everyone. They also made it so that all the tournaments are only an hour long. I don't know if that's something they're going to change here in the near future. They also added a lower cost tournament. The lowest tournament is now 100 gems, and the achievement that goes along with it for completing a tournament is the same. You get 100 gems back. Alright, so right here I'm slightly in the lead. But this guy's furnaces, that's one of my favorite cards, really, the furnace, because if you don't deal with the furnace, you're going to have a problem. So you'll see right there, I waited for his fire spirits to just bombard my tower before I threw down those fire spirits to counter his minion horde. Fire spirits are one of the best counters in this game. You can counter barbarians, you can counter minion hordes, and at only 2 elixir, they are something that really should be in your deck, and so that's why I haven't got rid of them. My favorite thing to do, maybe I'll do it in one of these replays, is when you drop a hog and then pig push him with fire spirits. If they drop barbarians to counter, those 3 fire spirits and a zap will completely take out level 9 barbarians in tournament standard. So now, the thing that they added that kind of gives more of a tournament feel to everyone that you can always do is this thing called challenges. Now, this is a classic challenge, and basically there's 2 kinds of challenges. We have classic challenge, which it costs only 10 gems to enter, and then we have a higher level challenge, which costs 100 gems to enter. And of course, the prizes for the higher level challenge are going to be better than the prizes for the lower challenge. This guy's use of the cannon, man, every time it got that hog, I was able to push through it in the end, but sorry to spoil it. I know I told you that I already won all 12 of these in a row, but this one was pretty close. It took a little bit of doing. Right here, I think he made a bit of a mistake. He dropped that cannon where my mini P.E.K.K.A. would get a shot on it, and that allowed my hog to swing on over there and get to his tower and do some good damage. Now, of course, he's got this miner coming in, but my fire spirits are absolutely going to destroy everything that he threw behind his miner. Now, I did miscalculate, and those spear goblins did a good amount of damage, but right after that, he drops his mini P.E.K.K.A. and his cannon, but my hog completely ignores it, and his mini P.E.K.K.A. gets stuck on my mini P.E.K.K.A., and so my hog makes it through, gets a couple of swings, and pulls off that victory. Now, the second replay versus Arctic from Chargers, I want you to pay attention right here at the beginning, because I do make a really big mistake that luckily I was able to come back from. So when I threw down this hog and everything, his mini P.E.K.K.A. got frozen, worked out really well for me. Here comes his mini P.E.K.K.A. I'm going to counter that with some minions, which I can then pair up with a mini P.E.K.K.A. to send a counter push. That's one of my favorite pairings, minions and mini P.E.K.K.A. Now, I didn't send it right there, and it's a good thing I didn't, because he did zap my minions. Now, he's going to start a push back here in the back. When I see that, I'm going to start pushing back. And so I drop this mini P.E.K.K.A. because I know that they'll meet somewhere over there, and then I send a hog. This was the mistake that I made. Now, I got okay damage done over there, but those guards, the giant, and the musketeer are all coming in all at once. He drops a mini P.E.K.K.A. Things are looking pretty bad. My Inferno Tower, unfortunately, doesn't pull the mini P.E.K.K.A., so the best I can do is just freeze it there for a second, and his mini P.E.K.K.A. is going to do an immense amount of damage with his musketeer right there to follow it up. Now, right here is where he makes the biggest mistake he's made. He drops a poison on that tower all by itself. He could have dropped that poison earlier, and maybe it would have made a little bit more sense, but because he dropped that, he's 4 elixir below me, and so I know that I can make a counter push right here, and I'm going to have enough to counter his musketeer. Now, right here, I zapped that ice spirit, and it worked out perfectly. We were able to get over there and do a whole heck of a lot of damage. Now, I know that tower only needs 1 hog swing to be down, so what am I going to do? I'm going to push the other lane, and he is going to have nothing to counter it. When he drops that mini P.E.K.K.A., it doesn't go after my hog, and because of that, we are going to shred this tower all the way down, and that's the kind of counter push that you got to look for with these kind of decks. Now, right here, I'm doing pretty good. I'm feeling a little bit more confident. He made that mistake with the poison, and so right here, I know that we're going to be okay. He does push pretty hard, though. Right here, I decided to pull off that crown right there just to get a little bit more insurance and split up his musketeer. He dropped some guards there, which are going to be bad, but like I said earlier, fire spirits, they will completely take out guards, so that's what I did. Right here's where it gets a little iffy. He drops a second giant, so I just start dropping everything I've got. Fire spirits, ice spirits, minions, everything, because it's looking bad. But a second Inferno Tower will take that down, and then all that's left to deal with is this Musketeer and Mini P.E.K.K.A., who are going to be pretty easy to deal with, and that is going to be another victory in my road to a flawless 12-win streak. Now, I'm sharing this third one with you, a battle between iGeneral from Fighters Club and me, because this one was really tough. And so I want to talk a little bit about what my deck is and how I use my deck, so that if you want to use this deck, you know what you're getting into. So what I'm using is a control deck. Basically, the goal of a control deck is to make as many positive elixir trades as you possibly can, and then use that to create a counter push. You counter push when you have a huge elixir advantage and you know that what they have to play can easily be countered. So right here, I waited on that zap to be able to get those minions to the tower. Unfortunately, my mini P.E.K.K.A. did die. He's got his arrows ready. I think he might have been expecting like a minion horde or something like that. But instead, Ice Spirit will freeze that queen, and she'll be taken out. And now I can launch a huge push down that side. He drops a skeleton army, which was a bad idea, because it did allow me to walk right through it with a zap and get some really good damage done on that left side tower. That's what I'm talking about. When he drops something hard like his witch, his goblin hut, I know that if I can counter that easily with like an ice spirit, then what I can do is I can push down the other lane. Now this guy, because he's using a spawner deck, he keeps dropping this hut right there, and unfortunately my mini P.E.K.K.A. walked right past it. Unfortunate for him, because then it came over and did some good work. Now this is kind of funny. That minion's outside the range, so that minion all by itself was able to take down the rest of that barbarian hut. That's just a note on placement when you're throwing down barb huts or goblin huts. Don't put them where I can destroy them from out of range of your towers. Now right here I'm in the lead, so I'm trying to play a little bit more conservatively, but I saw him play that witch, so I knew that I'd be okay if I sent in this push, and then unfortunately my zap was just a bit too early and it let too many of those skeletons survive. So I am going to have to do something to counter this, and right here he's got a big old skeleton coming by, and that, oh jeez, and that Inferno Tower is just going to completely ignore it. Now right here, luckily we were able to survive that just in the nick of time, He's going to drop down another Barb Hut. I know that's a 7 elixir trade, and he just arrowed my mini P.E.K.K.A. So what am I going to do? I'm going to try to take out that Barb Hut and push my hog right past it. Right there, he invested 6 elixir to get that down. I have so much more elixir than him right now. I am not even worried. Zap all of those skeletons away, and we're going to be able to get that Barb Hut out of the way. We're looking really good in just the last 10 seconds of this. Throw down an Inferno Tower so there is nothing he can do. He can't... Wait. There it is. He uses his arrows. So now if you notice, I was sitting at 6 elixir, 7 elixir when he used those arrows, which put him at a huge disadvantage. So what happens? I was able to make a huge counter push and take out that tower before he's able to play another card. Yeah, so that's all the live battles for today. Yeah, I know I don't usually do all replays, but I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this new update, a little bit about tournaments, a little bit about these challenges, and about my deck. So replays were a really good way to show you that. Now, for the grand ol' surprise at the end of the episode, we're going to open up this perfect classic challenge chest. That's 12 wins. As you can see, not a single loss. We're going to get 2,000 coins and 100 cards with at least 1 epic and 10 rares. Hopefully this will be pretty good. There's our gold. 7 arrows. Some wizards. There's all of our rare cards. I don't usually use wizards, but that'll work. Nice, a bowler. I don't use him either, but maybe in a future episode. And a whole mess of knights, jeez. Stay tuned. In the near future, I'm going to have to do an episode on the knight, because as you can see, I just have so many of them. I could have a really strong knight right about now. A knight will beat a mini P.E.K.K.A. on one-on-one. It'll take out a musketeer. It's a pretty good card. I'll see if I can work it into a deck here in the future. So that's it. Like I said, really happy with this new update. These challenges do stress me out just a little bit because I'm so worried about getting those 3 losses and getting knocked out. But overall, it was a lot of fun, and I'm really glad that I was able to get all 12 right in my first try. I hope that you liked this episode. If you like this episode, make sure you leave a comment down below to see what kind of decks you want to see, what kind of strategies, or what kind of replays maybe. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like on it, and as always, this is Orfleck from Sir Gaming, signing out.